Tyrannosaurus rex. Tyrannosaurus rex was the apex predator of late Cretaceous North America. Reached 13 meters long, weighed 6 tons with teeth the size of bananas. But they weren't sharp slicing teeth. They were teeth that crushed bones into powder. The strongest bite in the history of land animals, up to 12,800 pounds. More than 3 times that of modern saltwater crocodiles. Imagine standing just a few dozen meters from it, its roar shaking the ground, hot breath. Truly terrifying. Its skin was covered in tough scales, not feathers like many people still think. Only the juveniles had some soft feathers that fell off as they grew up. T-Rex's tiny arms were often mocked, but in reality each arm could curl up to 180 kilograms, strong enough to help it stand up from a resting position. Not useless at all. The biggest question remains, was it a hunter or a scavenger? Both are correct. Its eyes faced straight forward, giving excellent stereo vision to track prey from afar. Despite its heavy body limiting top speed to about 20 km/h, it was still terrifyingly agile. When the opportunity came, it charged to hunt. When not, it ate whatever was left. This flexibility helped it dominate the ecosystem for 2 million years straight, until a giant asteroid slammed into Earth 66 million years ago, abruptly ending the king's reign. But not every predator was as large and powerful as that. Velociraptor is a classic example of the difference between movies and reality. Forget everything Jurassic Park ever showed you. The real one was only turkey-sized, about 50 centimeters tall, weighing around 15 kilograms. The giant predators in the movies were actually based on Deinonychus, a larger relative.
Spielberg just liked the name Velociraptor better, so he used.
They lived in Mongolia 75 million years ago, covered in beautiful feathers. Evidence comes from quill knobs still preserved on their arm bones. Sickle claws on their feet were used to slash prey, not to pin it down like in the movies. They were smarter than many reptiles of their time, but their brain wasn't advanced enough for pack hunting or opening doors. The famous fighting dinosaurs fossil shows one velociraptor in solo combat with a protoceratops, no pack in sight. They were solitary hunters, dangerous to small prey, but nothing like the killing machines Hollywood sold to audiences. Shifting to herbivorous species that were ready to fight to the end. Triceratops possessed a skull up to 2.5 meters long, nearly 1/3 of its body length. Its 3 horns were not just decoration. 2 horns above the eyes nearly 1 meter long, plus a smaller nose horn. Fossils are full of healed puncture wounds, proving they fought fiercely for mates and territory just like modern deer and elk. The large frill behind the head was used to protect the neck, especially from T-Rex. Both species lived at the same time and place, and Triceratops bones often bear clear T-Rex tooth marks. Adults weighed about 9 tons and could charge at up to 35 km/h. A direct horn thrust could impale almost anything. They were professional herbivores, using bird-like beaks to shear the toughest vegetation. Triceratops was one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to exist right up until the asteroid impact. That majestic 3-horned image became the symbol of the entire Cretaceous period. What about Stegosaurus, the famous dinosaur with the plates on its back? Its brain was only walnut-sized, about 80 grams, and a 5-ton body. People once thought it had a second brain in its hips to control the rear half, completely a mistaken rumor. The back plates weren't armor because they were too thin and fragile. Modern science suggests they helped regulate body temperature by flushing with blood or served as display structures to attract mates. The real weapon was in its tail. 4 spikes nearly a meter long, playfully called thagomizer by scientists from the Far Side comic. Fossils prove these spikes once punctured Allosaurus bones. Stegosaurus lived 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic, going extinct 80 million years before T-Rex appeared. The two species never met. Despite its tiny brain, it survived for millions of years. This is a great lesson. Sometimes instinct and natural weapons are stronger than intelligence. Now to the gentle giants that no one dared to provoke. Brontosaurus was once erased for over 100 years because it was mistaken for a Apatosaurus. Until 2015, detailed bone research brought the name back. 202 meters long, 17 tons heavy, neck with 15 vertebrae, but couldn't lift much higher than its shoulders. They swept their necks side to side like living vacuum cleaners, eating low to medium vegetation over vast areas. They swallowed gastrolith stones into their stomachs to grind food, just like modern birds. They laid eggs, and the young had to survive on their own from day one. Fortunately, the enormous size of adults was the best protection. No creature dared attack a healthy 17-ton individual without paying a heavy price. They moved in large herds, keeping the young in the center, true mountains of muscle that shaped the entire Jurassic ecosystem. Ankylosaurus was a completely different type, a 4-meter wide walking fortress covered head to tail in thick bony osteoderms. Even its eyelids had armor. Its tail was a 30-kilogram bone club, strong enough to break a T-Rex's ankle. It was slow, max speed only about 10 kilometers per hour, so it chose the strategy of stand still and fight back. Flipping it over was the only way to hunt, but it meant risking getting within club range. The slow but nearly impenetrable strategy helped it survive for a long time alongside T-Rex. Spinosaurus was even more special. Larger than T-Rex, up to 15 meters long, crocodile-shaped head, nearly 2 meters sail on its back. At first science thought it was a land hunter, but new fossils revealed dense bones without marrow, flat, possibly webbed feet, and paddle-shaped tail. It was a semi-aquatic species, spending most of its time hunting fish in rivers like a giant crocodile. Its arms were larger than T-Rex's, very useful for catching slippery prey. It dominated the river systems of North Africa 95 million years ago, a completely different monster that did not directly compete with T-Rex. Flying species like pterodactyl were actually not dinosaurs but pterosaurs, a separate group of flying reptiles. The largest had an 11-meter wingspan, as tall as a giraffe when grounded. They didn't flap constantly but soared on thermals like albatrosses, extremely energy efficient. Their hollow and fragile bones mean few complete fossils. They were the first vertebrates to conquer the sky, ruling Mesozoic skies for 160 million years. In the ocean was Mosasaurus, a 15-meter sea lizard, closely related to modern snakes and monitor lizards. Its double-hinged jaws could swallow prey whole. Famous long-necked Plesiosaurus was also a pure marine reptile. Both went extinct with the asteroid, parallel to the dominance of dinosaurs on land. Allosaurus was the T-Rex of the Jurassic, 12 meters long, biting fast like an axe to cause heavy blood loss. They often hunted giant sauropods in groups. Giganotosaurus in South America was similarly large, specializing in slashing deep wounds and waiting for prey to weaken. Dilophosaurus did not spit venom at all and had no frill, all movie inventions. It was one of the earliest large predators, with teeth specialized for catching fish or scavenging. All these creatures, whether huge or small, whether predators or herbivores, were masterpieces of evolution. They teach us that life always finds ways to adapt and dominate, whether with a small brain or gigantic body. And then just one cosmic collision changed everything. Next time you watch a dinosaur movie, you'll see that reality is far wilder, more complex, and more wonderful.